Vegetarian versus non-vegetarian diets. So, by definition, being vegetarian means a person that does not eat any meat. For example, beef, pork, chicken, lamb, etc. Some reasons that some people are vegetarian can be for their religion, their health, or even just their morals. Now, majority of people are not vegetarian, and there are pros and cons for both sides, which we will be discussing. But first, let's talk about the origin. Vegetarian diets originate from ritual connections. People would avoid eating the flesh of animals to temporarily purify or to qualify themselves for a priestly function. In India, people started to avoid eating animals because of a philosopher called Pythagoras, who said all animals and humans are connected, and that humans need to be kind to other creatures. Other philosophers recommended being vegetarian because they believed in reincarnation, and they were searching for cosmic harmony with humans. In the Hebrew Bible, it's said that the earliest humans didn't eat animals, and this influenced many people who are part of Jewish and Christian cultures in the future. So, is being vegetarian better than eating meat? Vegetarian diets have a lot of health benefits when it comes to preventing certain diseases. Many different studies have actually found that there's a lower risk of heart disease, hypertension, type 1 diabetes, obesity, and so much more. They're also higher in carbohydrates, fiber, antioxidants, and are also lower in saturated fat and cholesterol. Based on some information gathered from vegetarian athletes, it's proven that being vegetarian is good for energy and carbohydrates. Getting enough iron is another thing about being vegetarian, since you'll need to eat enough iron from plant-based foods to prevent iron deficiency. Many athletes have switched to a plant-based diet because it's shown to reduce inflammation. A lot of people associate protein with meat, and it's true. Meat has a lot of protein. But there's actually a lot of other vegetarian-friendly foods that are a great source of protein, like nuts, tofu, eggs, etc. The downside here is that only 2.5% of American adults and only 4% of Canadian adults are indeed vegetarian. So let's talk about the environment and the future. It takes a lot of resources to raise animals. Let's take cows, for example. To raise them so that they're healthy enough for us to eat, they cause more greenhouse gases than cars, trucks, boats, and planes combined. Meat is only 10% of our daily energy as well. So reducing the amount of meat you eat is helping to stop climate change, and it will reduce the demand for real meat. So meat farms won't be contributing that much to climate change anymore. There's a brand called Beyond Meat burgers, and they taste almost exactly like meat, and they're completely plant-based. Researchers are trying to make the texture, taste, and nutritional values of these Beyond Meat burgers to match real meat, but it's healthier for you, and also it's better for the environment. So let's be honest here, being vegetarian doesn't all of a sudden solve all the problems in the world. Vegetarians typically have a lower BMI, which means body mass index, than meat-based diets, and they also have lower blood pressure. People are concerned that vegetarian diets can cause nutritional deficiencies and have a higher risk of osteoporosis, which is a disease that causes reduced bone mass. Vegetarian diets also have a lot less calories than meat-based diets, so it might not be the best for children since they are still growing and they need around 2,000 calories per day. In conclusion, being vegetarian doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get sick. You just need to know which foods to eat that will help your body get the nutrients that it needs. Also, you don't need to become a full-on vegetarian to help with the environment. If you just reduce the amount of meat you eat, it still helps. Animals and humans are connected, and that humans need to be kind to other creatures. I hesitated. Vegetarian diets originate from ritual connections. People would avoid eating the flesh of animals. Vegetarian diets originate from ritual connections. People would avoid eating the flesh...